Oh, God. So Dexter Season 6 finds Dexter taking on a pair of murderers using religious tableaus to try to bring about the apocalypse. Welcome back to the Dexter review series, everybody. If you just are joining me, I have done the first 5 seasons on this channel over the past year or so, and we're going to be full sprint to the finish now over the next couple of weeks leading up to Dexter New Blood, of which I will be doing the same treatment that I've been doing with Chucky, to where you're going to get an edited review every single episode and then a spoiler chat the very next day. So I am very excited for this new revival of Dexter. And now we find ourselves at one of my least favorite seasons of this show. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get the cat out of the bag for that one already. Not a very big fan of season 6. Up to this point, as a Dexter fan, I thought that the show was really strong. I mean, the first 4 seasons were damn near flawless to me and still are. You have season 5 that was still a very, very good season of TV, but just made a couple of missteps in the story, especially the finale. Season 6 was the first season that by the end I thought that wasn't a very good season of Dexter. This was where they really started to show that maybe they're running out of some steam. Talking about the positives of season 6, I think that the kills and the death scenes involved with this Doomsday Killer are actually pretty inventive. They're pretty gnarly. They kind of have like a trap element to some of them, like the woman that as soon as they come in to save her, it was going to like pull her up as an angel wing and puncture her jugulars. Like, there was some really gnarly stuff going on with these kills, to where it wasn't just dead bodies being found. It was actual artwork. I mean, there's dead bodies that are strapped to a horse and made into like these different mannequin pieces that are then rode through the city. I liked all of those elements. Like the first couple of episodes when it was just getting into the kills, I was thinking, damn, like they're really pulling out all the stops. This might be a fucking badass season. And there's a lot of exploration of religion and faith in this season, which I think is an interesting thing to explore with a character like Dexter that really doesn't believe in anything and doesn't even really understand emotion. So how is he going to understand the concept of a higher power? I thought that that was interesting to go along the ride with him. A little bit messy along the way, but as far as a story theme, as far as a direction for a season, I enjoyed what they did with that for the most part, namely with the character of Brother Sam. So you have this character brought in who is kind of a reformed criminal, and he's now about healing people, and he's now about the power of God, and he has this relationship with Dexter to where he's got this garage that just fixes things for really cheap to try to give ex-cons a job. And eventually Dexter starts going to him and starts having this friendship with him where he's trying to understand more about faith. And if it wasn't for the fact that it feels like Dexter throws away all the lessons that he learns from Brother Sam by the end of it, I would say that this actual storyline would raise this season up quite a bit more than how I actually remember it being. It's one of the few times in the show where you genuinely feel like Dexter has a friend that doesn't have some twisted, ill-fated plan with Dexter. It was genuinely a good friendship. Now moving on to the mixed aspects, I think that there is one episode in this season that really does stand out and that always sticks in my memory when I think I'm getting ready to watch season 6. I always look forward to this episode to an extent, and that's the Nebraska episode after he has taken out Brother Sam's killer, and now Brian is his dark passenger and he sees his brother, and they go on this little road trip thinking that Jonah, the son of the Trinity Killer from season 4, has taken on the mantle and started murdering people in the style of his father, so they go on this road trip to try to take him out. I think that this episode is fascinating and is a great kind of wrap up for the Trinity storyline for Jonah and the direction that they take him and kind of the understanding that he comes to with Dexter. I think it's a good way to leave off that and kind of tie that up in a nice little bow and leave us feeling satisfied with the tail end of the Trinity Killer storyline that's still left open. But Brian is incredibly annoying in this episode, and it's unfortunate because he's a character that we all know and love, and we definitely would want to see more of him, but he's just so aggravating with just constantly tapping him on the shoulder. Like, are we going to kill somebody? Are you going to kill somebody? Come on, let's stick him in the throat with a knife. Come on. Are we going to kill somebody? Come on, man. And now moving on to the negatives. I told you I didn't love this season. The main thing is I think that the Doomsday Killers, the whole twist that they tried to pull off in this season, I thought fell flat on its face. Now, there's some of you out there that saw this and genuinely were surprised. I thought it was obvious by the second or third episode. I mean, as soon as I noticed that nobody was really acknowledging Edward James Olmos and nobody was even looking at him, even whenever they're getting ready to kill somebody, they were always focused on Colin Hanks. I thought it was beyond obvious, to the point where it got annoying how long throughout the season they kept drawing this out, thinking that they had everybody fooled. And unfortunately, I was not one that they had fooled. So by the time that they revealed, oh, Edward James Olmos isn't real and he's in Colin Hanks' head and he's the fucking psycho all along, it just didn't work for me whatsoever. It also didn't work that as soon as he comes to that realization, like immediately after they reveal to the audience that Colin Hanks just goes full psycho and he's just like, I'll show you, and then goes away. It's like, dude, that character change for that side of your personality doesn't make any sense. For all of the people that the Edward James Olmos side of you was making you kill, including your sister and the girl that you went on a date with, and now all of a sudden you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill everybody. It was way too soon. It almost felt like that twist should have been introduced earlier in the season and then have a couple of episodes of him dealing with it and then finally just getting consumed with the Doomsday Killer side of him. To just snap on a dime like that, it felt rushed, even though they dragged it the fuck out. I also felt like Dexter wasn't very smart this season. It felt like he threw away all the lessons that he learned. I mean, there's lessons that he learns from Brother Sam in this season that he immediately throws away in this season, but even all the lessons he learned in season 4 about, you know, not getting his family involved and not getting so deep into this desire to kill this person that you put other people in danger, and he almost lets his son get killed. I mean, it's just like, dude, you're supposed to be learning as a character. Overall in the show, that is what the development of your character is each season you're almost getting killed, somebody's almost getting killed, and you're taking out this evil person so that you can learn and grow as a human being and learn to understand emotions and love and valuing certain things. And when you get to season 6, it just kind of feels like they throw all that out the window. And Dexter's just going to go at Colin Hanks with everything that he has, regardless what happens. And it just doesn't really fit with the timeline of where we find the character at right here. One of the biggest things that drives me nuts about this season, I thought that Deb was horrible in season 6. I mean, they have this whole storyline where she kind of lucks into being the lieutenant because LaGuerta fucked over Captain Matthews, and that's kind of his way to get back at her. That little, middle finger to LaGuerta I enjoy, but it just catapults Deb's character into a role that I don't feel like the character has earned yet, and that's kind of the whole point, I guess, but it just doesn't really feel as enjoyable to watch her trying to lead everybody when she was always the one that wasn't being listened to. It's just that switching of roles for her doesn't quite work for her character. Beyond all of that, her swearing gets gimmicky by this season. I mean, she's always been a trash mouth. That's always been part of her charm. It's always been one of the reasons that we all love her. But there's moments in season 6 where it's just comical.
Holy frankenfuck snakes!
This is no amateur.
And it's written really bad. I mean, there's a scene where she literally stares at Quinn and she goes, I don't give a fuck who you fuck. Just don't fuck with my investigation, you fuck. And it's like, okay. No. And let me say this clearly. The entire storyline that they decided to shove into this season with Deb falling in love with Dexter, and fuck you. Seriously, go to hell. That entire plot line infuriates me every single time I revisit this show.
Every time the shit hits the fan, I go to him. He's your safe place.
You're making it sound like I want to be with him or something.
Well, do you?
I mean, like I said, you had the perfect moment in season 5 for Deb to discover Dex's secret. And they decided to stretch it out so that they can get more seasons of this show, which is never the way to do a show. And then you get into season 6, and for whatever reason, they felt like they needed to add tragedy to her discovery of Dex's secret. Pretty sure him being her brother and the person that she is closest with for the past 5 seasons was more than enough. You didn't have to make her have this weird incestual love, even though they're not blood relatives. This weird incestual love for Dex. It just makes it weird. It makes it strange. It doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel necessary. And when you throw it in there, it just makes the entire thing gross.
Oh, God.
And Deb also has this really aggravating presence in this season to where, because she's the boss, she is constantly in Dexter's ass and constantly interrogating him and constantly giving him shit, to the point where that brother-sister love is almost non-existent in this season, which makes even less sense for that to be a season where you try to attempt and fail miserably at trying to make them feel like a couple. but the entire relationship between those two characters is almost antagonistic in this season, when it should have been strengthened so that by that last scene where she discovers it, it feels all the more tragic than it already was going to be. By the time it came, he honestly didn't even give a fuck. And this is also the season where they started to really not give a shit about the rest of Miami Metro. I mean, they already kind of headed down that road in season 5 by getting rid of a lot of really good storyline going on with LaGuerta and Batista. This season, they pretty much throw that away completely. And even the storyline that they spent all of last season building between Deb and Quinn, they throw that away in this, to where she breaks up with him because he's him and she wants to focus on her career, and then he's just spiraling out for the rest of the season. It's just, if you didn't have anything to do with him, then just have him be on vacation. Like that was fucking dumb. And unfortunately, that's something you're gonna see more of in later seasons. And one of the reasons I'm kind of glad that Dexter New Blood is a complete clean slate and not going back to Miami Metro, because as much as I love these characters, the showrunners apparently did not, because they just acted like they were almost burdens for the story. Like, fuck, we gotta do something with these characters. All right, I'm gonna put some drama in there for 12 episodes. And my final negative is that Mike, the new addition to Miami Metro to kind of take over Deb's spot while she takes over Lieutenant, he's kind of a pointless throwaway character. Not to spoil events of future seasons, but they literally wanted nothing with this character. They had no idea what to do with him. He's just there because there was a slot. So overall, guys, I know I'm going pretty hard on this season. It's a season that I can watch and be okay with. I can be entertained with. It's not something that I'm actually like in pain watching, like a season we're going to be talking about here very soon. But as far as the quality that I had come to expect from Dexter up to this point, season 6 was the first season that genuinely felt like just poor quality Dexter. So if you were left a little bit cold by the finale of season 5, unfortunately season 6 is probably not gonna warm you up very much. There's certainly some cool kills and an interesting exploration of Dexter's faith, but a lot of the other storylines in this season completely fall on their face. So watch this one with lowered expectations and stream it. So what do you guys think of Dexter season 6? There are some people that love this season, so are you somebody that loves the religious stuff and loves the Doomsday Killer aesthetic of this season? Or are you somebody like me that thinks that they failed? Did you predict that twist before it came along? And what do you think about the whole Deb loving Dexter thing? Because I've seen a few people try to defend that. So try to defend it again down in the comment section. Let me know, guys. We will talk about it. Like and share this video. And please hit that subscribe button so that you do not miss the review for season 7, season 8, and everything regarding my coverage of Dexter's New Blood in November. Thank you guys for watching as always, and remember, opinions are like assholes, but that doesn't mean that you have to be.